Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this official launch of one of our epic program, Lewa-La-Banna. I'm going to ask everyone who walks into the meeting, please mute themselves so that we are able to hear each other. Apologies, first of all, for the delayed technical glitches. We have been struggling with
Leadership Israel, I think we should proceed.
Yeah, I think let me just proceed because I realized that my leader is really struggling with network. So let me just go on with the session, then he will join us in the middle of it. Let me take this moment in time and greet each and every one of the leaders who managed to join in, to join us today in this very exciting day that we have been waiting for to launch one of our programs, Lewa-La-Banna, that is said to be the men's cave. Unfortunately, we started late because of the technical glitches. Network is really not doing as good, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not on a video mode, because my network is really taking a toll out of that. And nonetheless, we will proceed and see how far we can go. I also experienced load shedding a few minutes ago, so I'll just try to be a little bit to the point so that we can finish on time before my devices run out of battery. We all welcomed in this session, and as we all know, SALGC, it's a South African Leadership Gentlemen's Club. That is one club in South Africa that aims at reviving what men stands for in this life. So we normally call it a home for all men and boys from the age that a boy child can realize he is a boy who can talk and walk and do all that. They are more than welcomed at SALGC. There is no, again, maximum age. So as for so long as you are a man in South Africa, you are welcome to be part and parcel of SALGC until no matter what age. So you are all welcome in this session. You please take out your notepads, and as I will be presenting, you can actually be taking notes. And I would like it to be an interactive kind of a session so that we clear the unanswered questions that have been there, maybe that you've been having since the program was rolled out. But today we are actually officially launching it going forward. Let me try and see if I can be able to share the screen. Let me see if I can share the screen. Leadership Sipo, can you please enable me that side to be able to share my screen?
Leadership, can you please assist and allow him to share the screen?
How do I do it? Okay, let's see. Guys, I'm just booming in and out.
Okay,
I don't
you
know.
can, yeah, you can share now. Please share Leadership Israel. You are the host.
Okay, let me see. Let me go to share a screen. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much, my leader. So I'll just go straight to the, I didn't want it to be some sort of a presentation as such, because I know it's if I had to now put all the details down of what the program entails, it will take us almost the whole day, because it's one program that actually have a lot in it. But then I tried to create this slideshow in a way that it will be a summation of what the program stands for, where does it come for, who can benefit out of it, and the how part, how will the program be running going forward. So I'll just jump straight to the first slide. It's the background and formation of the Lewa-La-Banna. So this is a SALGC program that was rolled out in February 2021, that's this year, under the coordination of Mr. Sekhale, that's myself. The program came in response to a realization that as much as we are advocating for men to take their position as leaders in this country, be it through families, at their workplaces, at church, civil organizations, we have to as much acknowledge that most of our men are wounded and our men are broken, and as such, a call to try to assist them was made. So when I interact with a lot of men, I do realize this factor to say, as much as we are SALGC, we want men to take on their position in the society, in the families, and other places I've mentioned on this slide. We also have to take it into realization that our men have been hurt severely. So we are at some point dealing with broken men, and it can be very difficult for a man who's broken to actually resume their rightful places as leaders. There is a great concern.
Yeah, I think, gentlemen, while this, okay, you back, my leader. I think while Mr. Sekhale is
At this point, we can all attest to. My leader.
Yes, carry on, my leader. Sorry.
All right, thank you very much, my leader. So I was still saying that it is a great concern and realization that most men and boys are broken in our society. And if you interact with a lot of men, they will say to you that they are of the opinion that there is less help readily available for those who even think of getting helped. We cannot ignore even the socio-cultural backgrounds of most African cultures. Most men are socialized and encouraged to be strong throughout everything and handle things by themselves. So here I've noted a famous line, that is meaning that it is seen as a sign of weakness should a man be found crying. And I know myself and my leader Bo always argue on this point to say in which context do we classify the crying. So I don't mean a man just sitting at a corner weeping, but then the crying in this context is seeking, crying out for help. So that's it's in that context. Let me move on to another slide. So despite the existing legislations in the country and justice system, most males still believed to be discriminated and never favored by the courts due to their gender. And as such, they often get discouraged to seek help using the right channels. It can be said boldly that the issue of absent fathers also contribute negatively on how a boy child is raised. That accounts from crime, violence, and many other social problems in the country and in our communities. So the notion that it takes a village to raise a child is no longer powerful as it was in the past. Thus, some children end up having no direction in their lives because of the absenteeism of fathers in families. The scourge of gender-based violence is also growing at a very high rate, and that is, of course, a great deal of a great concern. And men, if not perpetrators of this gender-based violence, they are also victims.
Can we mute Miras, please? Disturbance, can we mute?
Thank you, my leader.
Please, can we, as we walk in, gents?
Thank you, my leader. So part of the psychosocial issues that haunt and victimize our men, and they are not limited to history of abuse. Some of them are the history of abuse. They are slavery to drugs and alcohol, slavery to anger, a class ceiling of to properly being part of the children's lives as fathers. There's no clear knowledge of their rights and responsibilities as fathers. So this account to married and unmarried fathers to their children. Thus, they become victims of parental alienation and many more not mentioned here. So these are some of the psychosocial issues that this program will definitely aims at looking into. So just to go straight to the point of this session even, what are the objectives of this particular program that we are launching today? I've tried to also put them in point forms so that we can all understand them and see them in a simplified manner. The first objective is to educate and share knowledge to fathers on the legislative framework relating to South African fathers. So there is legislation that governs the fatherhood in South Africa, but then it came to our realization that most fathers in our communities do not realize that they do have rights and responsibilities, that there is particular legislative frameworks that actually guide them in that journey of being fathers. So we are aiming to share the knowledge, that particular knowledge, and educate our fathers and our men in the legislative framework in South Africa, to be specific. So the second objective of this program is to unpack and empower fathers with their responsibilities and rights according to the legislation in South Africa. So there are specific responsibilities and rights of fathers according to the legislation in South Africa. So we also aim to empower fathers in knowing those, so that whatever actions they take, they can be guided actions and they can be in line with what the South African legislation actually support. So the third objective is to afford the guided psychosocial support and advice to fathers with issues of care and conduct and access to their children. This is one issue that each and every day in our courts, it's on the roll at the children's court. Fathers go to approach the court in a quest to have access to their children, contact with their children, care with their children, but it can be a bit difficult task if you are not aware or not having any knowledge as to what your responsibilities and what your legal rights are as a father. So we also aim at affording the guided support in that regard to make sure that our fathers fully understand their standing with regard to the care issues of their children, having contact with their children, and access to their children. This can be even after divorce or separation. So the program aims at empowering our men in that regard. Moving to our fourth objective in this program, we are aiming to serve as a referral system for assistance for our men in need of professional assistance on issues ranging from care, contact, gender violence, gender-based violence, and other other issues. So we do realize that we cannot be jack of all trades because there is professional help readily available out there, but then without the knowledge of the existence of those particular platforms, one cannot really go out there to seek help. There are, as I've mentioned, men who find themselves being slaves to anger, but then little information is out there to what help can you get to really deal with your anger issues as a man in South Africa. So this program is aiming to be a referral system in those kind of issues. All the psychosocial issues that our men might be finding themselves struggling with, this program is there readily available to help in that regard. The fifth objective is to provide support and to empower men who are victims of the gender-based violence and the domestic violence. So this is one issue that I know most men on the daily basis feel like it's been ignored, that they are also victims of the gender-based violence and the domestic violence. So this program is there to provide the support and empower them on how do we deal with those kind of issues. I was attending one workshop last week where the focus was just on the essence of men who are dealing with domestic violence and being victims of domestic violence. So we can realize that even our last bi-monthly lecture was dealing with this kind of issue, because there are men trapped in those situations, but then they don't know where to go, where to cry for help. The last objective of this program, because you have to realize that when we roll the program out, we also mentioned that there are young ambassadors who are young men who subscribe to the SALGC, and they want to go out there to encourage their other peers to say there is SALGC, that's a home for young boys and men in South Africa. So we want to encourage them to be responsible individuals in their communities and understand clearly the concept of leadership in different levels, because I believe you cannot be a leader at the national level if you are failing to lead your own community. And again, you cannot be a leader in your own community if you are failing to lead your own family. And same applies. You cannot be a leader to your family, a good leader to your family, if you are failing to lead your own inner self, because that's where leadership starts. You lead yourself in the correct direction, you lead your family, you lead your community, and then you can lead the nation. So we have this young ambassadors also to try and model them in the right direction, to encourage them to understand their role in their communities, in their different communities they coming from. Also subscribing from the pillars of SALGC, being there in the economic sectors of their communities to understand exactly what is happening around their communities, unlike just being ignorant and engaging in other things that might not bear them good results. Okay. So the operation of this particular program, I've mentioned here to say it will be problem-centered. So I know on bi-monthly, we have lectures where we actually bring different leaders from and speakers from across the globe, if I can say, because we don't only have, our speakers are not only from South Africa, but some of them are in the US and all over the world. So we acknowledge that we do talk about very important issues every time we have a lecture. But then now this particular program now is going to be problem centered, so that if a man who is aware of SALGC's existence and want to get specific help, they can actually get in touch with us, and we specifically assist them in that particular program. So we will have a particular problem. So we will have the focus group sessions and support groups of the identified men, and we also going to have the one-on-one session. So this is one special element about this Lewa-La-Banna program. We are going to well, we have the bi-monthly lectures, but then this program allows you to directly contact myself and talk to me one-on-one, and then we can channel you in the correct direction if maybe we cannot be able to assist you in that particular in dealing with that particular problem you are raising. So that's one special character about this program. So that's how we are going to operate throughout this program. That, I think, in short, summarized the program and what I wanted to clear. So the program has been launched in February. You will get our WhatsApp details, and throughout our social media platforms. That's where you can actually get hold of us should you need any kind of help. So I'm looking at my device, is running a little bit low on battery, but then yeah, I think I tried to cover everything in what I've said. So I will first open for questions should there be any. So I'll ask my leaders to also help me identify hands that might be up there looking for answers. Then I can try my best to answer them.
My leadership.
Leader?
My leader, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, my leader.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my leader.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. I hope the network will allow me to speak this time. Thank you very much for a good presentation. While I'm on the platform, can you please make Leadership Sipo a host? He's crying for being made a host. So I just need to briefly say thank you to everyone who has come to this official launch of this program. We're grateful that even in the midst of a great soccer match that everybody would have gone to, you have spared your time, reserved it to deal with issues that men in this country don't really like to deal with. For that, as the chairman of the club, I'm very grateful, me and the entire leadership of this club. We are very grateful. It's unfortunate that we are unable to connect to Facebook Live because of some technical glitches. We are not sure what the problem is. However, we have posted the message that everybody should log into Zoom. We have posted the Zoom links there as well. So coming back to Lewa-La-Banna, the program that Leadership Sekgala is championing and is moving with, this is the program that addresses the challenge that most men are sitting with. We know the national narrative says men are trash. Everywhere you go, men are trash. And purely because of things that men find themselves doing. And as this program and SALGC, we are not here to defend filthy things that men are doing, but we are saying we are here as a home and finding up where the points that bullet points that Leadership Sekgala has mentioned, it's purely to say this is as far as you are able to go. And it also means that we acknowledge that it's a Herculean job to try and address the challenges of this country as SALGC. And we acknowledge that us ourselves alone, we would not be able to resolve the challenges of this country. That is why we open up to partnership and collaborations with other stakeholders that are dealing with issues that are challenging in our communities and home. We cannot get a society that flows peacefully and economically without getting a leadership foundation set properly at home. So we encourage everyone to consider and to be cognizant of the fact that leadership starts with you. The responsibility starts with you. And you can blame everybody. You can blame whoever has been being in leadership and has not done what you wish they would do. But let me tell you, those people have done what they have done. They might have made their mistakes, but it's your turn now. I keep emphasizing that. Right now, forget about Mandela, forget about Mbeki, forget about everybody, Zuma and everybody. Forget about the Guptas, forget about everything. We have this challenge of not taking responsibility for what is happening in our lives. Typical example is, but we never paint fingers at ourselves. Like we are saying, start taking responsibility as a man. If you realize that your life has been a mess, don't say because my father was not there. Yes, he was not there. It's not going to change. Join the club. Come to SALGC. Come to Lewa-La-Banna. The contact details are there. Seek help and shape yourself to be a better man so that you can be able to leave a better something to your children and their children and the generation that comes beyond. So in a nutshell, from my side, Peter, I wasn't able to talk earlier because of the network. I'm glad I've been able to address. And thank you, Leadership Sikhale, for the brilliant presentation. My question to you, maybe I should start with the question while other leaders are coming with their questions. My question is, operationally, how is the program going to work? Maybe I was out, you addressed it while the network kicked me out. How is it going to work? Are we going to have online meetings, or there's going to be phone calls to a certain number where people are going to call and get counseling? How is it going to work? Can you please elaborate there? Thank you.
Thank you very much, my leader, for that question. I've tried to address it, and I was trying to also be quick, looking at the bedrooms and all that is unfortunate. We are disadvantaged in that regard, but let me try to quickly answer that. Operationally, as we would wish our clubhouses to stand, that's one hub that's going to be there to actually have physical meetings with those who would be identified, more especially that I've mentioned that we will be having focus groups of the men that will come forth to say, you know what, I'm having a challenge in this particular field. So we will, of course, be thematic in identifying issues that maybe a few men might be facing and actually put them together so that we can, as much as we are helping them, they can also amongst themselves in a focus group kind of share amongst themselves how do they deal with those issues. Because I believe that as people, if we have dealt with, we might have faced the same issue, but then surely we have dealt with it in a different form, in different ways, and some of them maybe found better ways to deal with that. So when we launched the SALGC clubhouses, those will be the hubs of Lewa-La-Banna actually. But then as of now, we will be having online sessions like this one. So if we have identified those men who are willing and have raised their hand to say, you know what, I need help in this particular regard, then we will get them together in that regard and deal with the issues. But then I have also explained that we will have one-on-one sessions. You are more than welcome to WhatsApp the number that we have made available on the poster, and then we will all one-on-one deal with your issue as such telephonically. And if, of course, a physical meeting can be arranged, that will not be a problem also. So that's how operationally Lewa-La-Banna will unfold.
Thank you, leadership. Thank you for a comprehensive response.
I don't know if there are any further.
Maybe we should say by of hand, we'll pick up questions. I'll also assist you to pick up questions this side if there's any question. Maybe while we're still waiting for the hands to go up, One other thing that I need to mention, community clubhouses are not the same thing. Club fees or a hub in your street or in your community where men will just walk in to sit there and talk to other men about men issues and stuff. So we call them SALGC clubhouses. That will be established, that we look forward to establishing in every community. Where as a man, when you are upset, you are angered, you are feeling frustrated, you can just walk the street, go to a clubhouse and meet other men there. Instead of drinking alcohol and going back and fighting your wife and children and end up killing them or hating yourself, you meet men there, you talk about your frustrations, men to men, you talk, you address things. By the time you go home in the evening, you calm, you collected, you understand that these things are issues of life. They just need you to have a different approach on them. So Lewa-La-Banna, it's a program that will be addressed in the clubhouses. So we're calling on everyone who's here. If you find the opportunity to be a member of SALGC and you find the opportunity of an area in your community where a clubhouse can be open for the men who are sitting, doing nothing, smoking nyaupe, idling, looking for jobs, not finding jobs and getting frustrated, let's use that building in your community. Let's use that building as a clubhouse for men. Contact SALGC. Let's look at how we actively work together to build our communities, because we find people joining the club and just sitting there and not doing the work. We can only succeed in this country if we create a culture of voluntarism, working together to try and get things done. So I don't know if there's any other hand in the process while I'm talking. Perhaps there will be people who wants to ask questions. So that's the difference that I wanted to make clear, that clubhouses are community hubs for men, where men go, even meetings like this. Men in the community will just walk and not say, I cannot tell the data, or my phone is not enough. It's not a proper phone to log in for such. You can walk to the clubhouse and sit there. There will be a screen there, and with other men, they will be able to watch the end up. Leadership, over to you. Dr. Klaba?
Good day, leadership. Thank you, leadership Sekgale, and thank you, leadership. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can, my leader.
Okay, thank you. So my question is not actually a question, but it's just yeah, maybe it is a question. How do you deal with the confidentiality? So that's the point that I'm trying to raise. For those men that are coming up to say discuss with the issues related to gender-based violence. I mean, there's different kinds of individuals. There are some individuals who might not want to their business to be out there. How do you deal with confidentiality?
Thank you very much, my leader, and a very relevant question, I have to say. So, like I have said, the one-on-one sessions is obviously by your indication to say you came straight to myself. So we will ensure to subscribe. We are actually subscribing to the issues of confidentiality. But then when we are going to have the focus groups as such, there will be a consent form also that will be signed by each and every person who will be in that particular support group, to say the issues that are to be shared in the sessions, they are not in a way like any other platforms like mediation sessions. They will not be taken out of the sessions as such. So the confidentiality of individuals coming to seek help, they will be ensured.
Thank you so much, leadership.
Thank you, my leader.
Yeah. Itu's hand is up. Leadership, Itu?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Mine is not really a question, just a word of support and encouragement to leadership Sekgale. I often look at SALGC as a house that supports issues of men, encourages men to be not only ordinary men who makes a difference, but great men who are there to make make a difference, like we usually say in the club, agents of change. And then after
Somebody
the
mute, please. Leaders, please, can you mute? Sorry, leadership. I'm sorry about that.
okay. After the realization of the program that Mr. Schal is coming with, I took time to understand. Then I saw it as well as in the house of SALGC, there's that room that offers support to issues of men. I just want to say to Mr. Tsakale that we appreciate you, my leadership. That's a great concept that you brought to the club, and we appreciate you. We thank God for your intelligence, and we are here to support. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you very much, my leader. It's well received from my side.
Thank you, my brother. Yeah, I while we're still waiting for hands to go up, questions and comments are all welcomed. Maybe also to point out that SALGC as a national NPO for men, we have women here in SALGC who we call friends of the club. They are not really members of the club, but they are friends of the club. You would know that biblically God made Adam first after he has made the environment and say, manage my environment. And then while Adam was busy managing the Garden of Eden or the environment, God brought him a help, which was Eve, our great-grandmother, who looked and supported Adam in whatever he was doing. So we are saying, as Helikill, the job as is to shape this nation. We cannot do it without our ladies. So we have ladies who we call friends of the club. It's the desk that we have within the club, where ladies belong to that desk to assist us in solving issues, actually in running programs of the club, because mostly our programs are community-based, even if they are national. So ladies know communities because they raise our boy child and our girl child whilst help us. So we say, if there are ladies who are interested and be member of Friends of the Club and contribute your brains and ideas and say, guys, we see you doing a good job. This is how we can help you. And also just by encouraging your partners, your brothers, your uncles to come to the club, because this is where we're shaping men without judgment. This is just the platform where we are not saying men are trash, like the whole national narrative goes. We are saying they might be trash, but look at what caused them to be trash. And this is not in defense of that. This is in defense of our nation. That if we are going to take every man and lock them up in jail, how are we resolving the problem of our nations? We are hardening their hearts there. We are making them even more hardcore criminals. And at some point, the president will be releasing them back to the communities. And we are not solving the problem, but we are perpetuating them. So in SALGC, we are saying, my brother, it is up to you. Walk, come to the club, start working in changing your patterns of life that you see are not working, but they're destructive into your life. You're my brother, pick up your boy child, be there in your boy child's life, your daughter's lives and all that. Because I often say, there's people here who have got their claws out. If you don't look after your children, they'll make profit out of them. They'll either make your daughters prostitute and make money. They'll sell nyaupe to your boy child, your lineage, and sell nyaupe to them and make them drug dealers. So as a man, it's never too late. Lewa-La-Banna is there for you. We are not judging here. We are trying to solve those problems that causes the nation to call us trash. This is a home for every man. So every question, any question that comes, please, I'm just giving you the opportunity to ask questions as I'm clarifying what we as SALGC and Lewa-La-Banna is all about. I see there's ladies also in the club. I see leadership, Hosea is here. I see Reverend Naya is here. Please, if you have any question, do not hesitate. Raise up a hand, we'll be able to pick you so that you have your say. But SALGC is for everyone. It's not for those people. It is meant for you. My brother, it's meant for you. Madam, it's meant for you, also for your son, for your brother. It's better to have your brother coming to the club than visiting him in jail after he has killed someone. Sis Busi, I'm gonna give it to you now. Leadership Sipo, you'll come after Sis Busi. Over to you, Sis Busi. Unmute yourself, Sis Busi Siwe.
Okay, thank you very much. I've just joined. I think I've got 5 minutes, but roughly, what is it that you're talking about? And I love the subject because mina young touch it directly. Sekgofatso Pule was my niece. And so, this topic really young toucher. And also, I'm working for the city of Joburg. We've got a lot of facilities. I would love to introduce this. When I talk about facilities, I'm talking about halls, the clubhouses around Soweto. Really, I would love to be part of. I don't know, how do you join? Where are the offices, if only there are any offices? But yeah, really and truly, this touches me. I was sharing with the other congregants, telling them what, seeing your child bamthatha ithombe by the media, it hurts as a parent, seeing that woman or who is there to support a child who has done this. It hurts, it's so painful. And like you are saying, Chair Oguti, let's find ways, let's create platforms of preventing, because really it's true, it is happening each and every day. So, I just say big up, really, yeah, you guys to stand up and start this thing. We really, I for one, I think I am in full support of this. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Sibusi. Thank you so much. Please go to our website, www.salgc, which is saljec.org.za, and contact us there, and then we'll get your details, and then we'll be able to connect with you for the opportunity of clubhouses. We appreciate that so much, and we're asking everybody here that we cannot achieve this by ourselves. We need the nation to support us. Look around your community. The best present you can give the future when you're no longer there is to produce leaders in your community. So finding a clubhouse, supporting SALGC, it's that opportunity of creating leaders for the future when you're no longer there. Sisbusi Zuma, we appreciate you so much, and contact us there. We'll come back to you and we'll grab that opportunity to open a first ever clubhouse after the East Rand one in Soweto. Leadership Sipo, I'm playing chair for Leadership Israel. And see your hand is up.
Yes, good day, leadership. Thank you very much. Before I get to the comments, I know leadership Busisi Zuma very well. I'll contact you with her after the meeting. In fact, I've shared with you her contact. I'll say your contact with her as well. Thank you very much, Mambusi. We really appreciate it. I'm going to go straight to the questions. There's a question on, first of all, it's a message. Thank you, Khosi Khale. The message is well received from the presentation. Then, Sumod, is there a contact center line currently for the community to consult online? I believe the predicament we are dealing with currently is that most men are not open to talk about their issues due to being scared of being shamed, as men are supposed to be dingu. But is it actual? Okay, although she says almost the same like the previous, I think it was leadership Bongani Klaba. So is there any contact number that can be contacted for people to consult? Thank you, leadership. Leadership Israel, did you hear?
My leader, I'm not sure if I was also trying to check the chat box. I'm not sure what was the question. I didn't really catch that due to network, I think.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can now hear you.
Is there a contact center line currently for the community to consult online? I believe the predicament we are dealing with currently is that most men are not open to talk about their issues due to being scared of being shamed, as men are supposed to be dingu. But balele kating.
Oh, okay. No, to answer that, the program actually is there for that particular reason. So I will share the WhatsApp line that they can actually directly contact so that we can help them individually without exposing them to the public, so that they cannot be victimized. So I will just share in the chat box if they can be able to access that just now, so that people can know where to text and they can get help.
Thank you for those questions, Leadership Sipo. And our program is meant to run for only 1 hour, 30 minutes, leaders. We have a few more minutes still to go, 30 minutes, maybe plus more. If there's any questions or comment, we are welcome to throw them. This is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. Find clarity, know who subject is, and finding out how we can help. We also we opening the challenge up to pastors, men of God out there who've got their facilities that they can assist the club with. I see all leadership. Hosea's hand is up and Simo is up. Let me start with Hosea first, and Simo, you will be next. Leadership, Hosea, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, leadership. The question that I meant to ask, just to have a clarity of what Gentlemen's Club is all about. I just wanted to find out, because I've seen somewhere there's a caption that says it's about men and helping young boys. So I just want to find out, what if I've got only a daughter, and as a father, I'm supposed to be there for her all the time? In that sense, how the Gentlemen's Club can be able to assist me in terms of that.
Thank you. Thank you for your good question. You can put your hand up, leadership, so that when you raise it one more time, we'll be able to pick it, that it's not an old hand. Maybe I should answer that question very quickly. I really would like people to understand that we are a South African leadership. Let's not forget that word, leadership gentlemen's club, because sometimes people confuse us to other gentlemen's clubs that are about other things. So we are about leadership, and leadership means it starts with you. So it is very apparent that if you are to help your children into anything, whether they are boys or girls, best thing to do is to be a proper leader yourself. Leadership will start with you, so you'll be able to be present in their lives as a father, as a leader, and be proper to pass proper moral values that will grow them as a father to them. That's growing your daughters and your sons as your children. So leadership probably actually starts with you. So by virtue of joining SALGC and leading within the values of SALGC and being a proper father and a leader in your home, your community, and the nation, you are giving back to your children yourself. And because you know your children, you see what children are about, you see what challenges children are going through these days, with the media being all over the place, feeding our children what we would not necessarily want our children to be fed. It's your responsibility as a leader and as a father to be there to groom your children in the direction that is needed. And it helps you also to look at your children and say, what programs, not only your child as well, daughters on the same street, that these kids, they are all girls, they need some program that will put them together, that will start teaching them on other things. It is your brain. Most of us are doctors, are CEOs, are everything in all these large corporations. We are creatives in large organizations, we make them profit, but when we come to our communities, we fail to implement those brains to bring some programs in our communities that can help these little kids. So as a leader in SALGC, we are stimulating your brain, that you look at what you can do in your community, because that's where leadership should start. Your leadership should start in your home, and when you open the door, right there, when you open your door in your community, get angry enough. We want you to get angry enough, get annoyed and say, I need to change this. This is annoying me. I see this thing every day. Nobody's coming for you, black child. Leaders, I want to make it clear to everyone here, all of us here that no one is coming for us. We are the ones who are supposed to change these things. We are the ones who are supposed to get annoyed and angry and say, I am going to change it. Because we can complain until they say Jesus come, as they say the politicians that will rule until he comes. We can complain forever, but it is our responsibility to do something about it. So my answer to you, leadership, is join the club. You find stimulation to not join the club and get membership and put it in your pocket and say, I'm a member of SALGC. To do what the braves are doing. This is for the braves, change makers here. Like Leadership Sikhale has just stood up and walked ahead and say, I'm raising my hand, I am going to do this. So when we are in SALGC, we are stimulating you to say, I'm not happy with this. And the situation in our country motivates us enough to be something that you are unhappy about. They need a leader. They need a role model. The future is to produce a leader. Leaders, mentor.
Alert from Google Chrome.
Yeah, so,
Monroe Global.
Leaders mentor and produce other leaders. So the answer in short, leader, is your daughters produce leaders out of them. The children in your street produce leaders out of them. This is how this club is encouraging you. And come to SALGC, will help you with those programs. We'll put you on the platform as well. We'll give you all the support that you need to be able to give it to your community, to the little ones that we want them to hold all our legacies tomorrow, not only our legacies, but our lineages tomorrow when we're no longer there. I hope I've been able to answer you.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome, my leader. I'll give over to leadership. Brother, I don't know if it's brother or sister. Simo, your hand has been up. Please unmute yourself and take over the platform. And please put your hand down so that we can pick it up next time.
Thank you. Lina Lakakin Simotine. And I would like to know if the leadership forum has plans in place in order for it to reach majority of our young boys, because as we speak now, most of them are in Shisanyamas, some are in taverns, some are in places they're not talking anything that's building them. It's all about boozing girls and doing nasty things. Are we having any platforms to reach out to those?
Yeah, thank you for a good question. Absolutely great question. And you know, I'm glad that you have asked that question, because as the club, we can only do so much. And we cannot force someone to drink water when they feel that they are not really thirsty. So we've got all social media platforms where we think these young boys are. And we've got a WhatsApp line also where we openly put it out that they must contact us. And all our events, the online events, which we believe that are convenient events for them to be able to just connect in the comfort of their own places, are there. We advertise our events and all that because we're trying to lure them. However, what is very important is we need mothers. As we say, mothers are friends of SALGC. We need sisters, we need brothers, we need uncles to also be able to drag these boys and say, encourage them in a way, in a subtle way, to say, come with me to this meeting. Come with me and come listen to what these people are saying. Because sadly, we know the generation that we have now, it's a generation that is resistant to everything because their souls are attacked left, right, and center by the media. Like you say, they're sitting in Chisanyamas and all those things. We need leaders that are here, both mothers, uncles, brothers, everybody, grandfathers and all, to sadly bring these boys to these meetings and bring them to the club, nudge them to this direction and say, come, let's come and listen to this. Come and see if you can benefit something that is important in this thing. Because it is the only way that we can do this thing. When you force them, you make them resist. So sadly, we have these things, and this program that has been launched today, Leadership Sikhale, maybe he can talk because he's the one who's handling a program of the young lads. Maybe I can give to him. We encourage everyone, and that's what we normally say in club, each one bring one. So if each and every one of us, I see we are 15 today. Imagine if each and every one of us in the next meeting can bring a boy child. a girl child, everyone brings one, we will be able to change our nation. Not only the people who are in leadership, but each and every single one of us can bring someone, will gradually be able to reduce the numbers, Coach Isanyama, increase the numbers where it all matters most for our communities and homes. I don't know, Simo, if I've answered you, but let me give over also to Leadership Sekhale to talk on the boy child also, of how this program and what he intends doing with boy children, because we already have ambassadors that fall under his ambit. That is Khale. Over to you, Matapel.
Thank you very much, Moetapele, for the answer. You have actually been precise. But then let me just add and try to answer Leadership Semo to say we are actually having a plan to get the boys to this club so that they can realize and acknowledge that we are in a dilemma of not having correct leadership in the country. We are in a dilemma of not having the correct leadership in our communities. We are in a serious dilemma of not having the correct leadership in our families. So it's unfortunately go na le polelo ya Sepedi re o ka isha kgomo bathong ke konokeng but o ka se rapeletse go nwa metsi. By so saying is we are all over social media. We trying by all means to actually attract our men and boys, and we also have the young ambassadors, those who will help us attract their own peers, because they are a group of boys who have participated mostly in our toxic masculinity program that ran last year. That was an essay writing competition. So we are going to run it even this year. So we will let it out there with all the means that we can get to make sure that it's visible. But then unfortunately, it's up for our boys and men to realize that we are having a challenge in our country to come and seek actually that wisdom and that to know what are we about. Because I mean, like if there's, I always make this one and it sounds like a joke to say, if we have a sporty challenge, it doesn't even take 2 hours for it to trend all over TikTok, Facebook, and wherever. But you find that the most important issues that we are struggling with, that are troubling us, we don't really take them serious. But then thanks for the question. So we to answer it, I'll say we are all over the social media platforms. We are there with the word of mouth, and that's why we are also trying to establish the clubhouses so that we can attract those who cannot even have access to phones to say, here's a SALGC sign, these are leaflets, know what we are about, and come home to where men belong.
Thank you, leadership. Also, that's the response. We need support of everyone who's here. Each one bring one, and we are also trying hard to open community clubhouses, SALGC community clubhouses in the vicinity, so that these boys, when they walk past, they see, and as and when they walk into the clubhouse, it's where they start realizing the value of being with other men, the value of being with other people who have traveled the path that they are traveling right now. Because sometimes somebody thinks that my journey is the most difficult one. But when you are with other people, you start realizing that, yeah, okay, I am just a crybaby. People are going through difficult times in this lifetime. So we really ask for your help. All of you, please go to our social media platforms, like our Facebook pages, our Instagram and our Twitter page.
I think my leader have lost connection, but then while he's still maybe trying to get back to the session, let me just allude that I've noted, and literature also support that most of the single mothers also to a boy child, to be specific, at some point find difficult to raise a boy child. So the club is also there for that particular reason. So no matter how old that boy might be, if you realize that there might be challenges that at some point you need help as a single mother, bring those to us and we will also try to help them. I've written one article with relating to the challenges that the single mothers face in raising children. So I will one day maybe share it in the platform, but then I am aware that literature also notes that single mothers at some point struggle to raise children, more especially in absence of some male figures in the family, be it uncles and other significant people. So we are very ready to also help in that regard. Leadership Sipo, please help me identify hands also, as I'm not the host or co-host. If there are still any hands, then I can try answer.
No, currently we do not have leadership, only the message of appreciation that you've responded to from Urev, Francis, and Piba.
Can we mute us, please? Just check your mic and mute. This is disturbing if we don't mute. It's interrupting. We have Victor Kalisha. Well, I don't know if he's talking or the hand is not up. So this is a program program Lewa-La-Banna, which is
Apologies, we've lost again leadership, Bo. I think you can wrap it up, leadership Israel, in the absence of any questions. Is there any other questions before we wrap it up? Thank you everyone for coming through. We appreciate your time. Leadership Israel. Oh, sorry, there's a hand from Simoti. Simoti, the platform is yours.
Sorry to disturb in the final stage. I just
No, it's
wanted
okay,
to say
don't worry.
thank you very much for this platform. And I think as women, we've been long waiting for this type of platform because we are dealing with a lot of social illnesses that are coming from past historical experiences. So I hope that it will eradicate all the issues that are, even if it's not all of them, but at least help with all these social illnesses, your GBVs and all. I hope it will really reach out to all men and boys and they will change their ways and really work with women. Thank you. And thank you, Sipo, for introducing me to this platform.
You're welcome, my sister. Thank you very much. Leadership Bo. Leadership Bo is struggling. I think we thank everyone for coming through, and we thank you for making time. And as we say, it is not only the problem that SALGC can resolve, but all of us, if we put our hands on the deck and each one bring one. That's the slogan we say. If one brings one, then we are able to face these challenges head on. So we do not have all the answers, but we are willing to be to stop from complaining with the caliber of men we have in our society, but to contribute our time, our efforts to make sure that we contribute to correcting the situation that we see in our communities. We are not perfect ourselves, but we are here to learn more about ourselves as we help others and as we also receive help from other people. So we thank you everyone for coming through, and we appreciate all the positive comments. And I think we are at the tail end of it. Leadership Hosea, your hand is up. I recognize you. Please take the platform.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Sipo. I would also like to take this opportunity to really thank you for introducing me to this platform. I think moving forward, I'm going to learn a lot, especially as a guy who grew up without a father. I'm going to learn a lot from you guys, and thank you once more again for introducing me to this platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. Welcome. Anyone before we close? Any other hand? Any other comment? I see people that say thank you for the presentation, and thank you again, Dr. Sipe. We appreciate your time coming through. One of the leaders in SALGC. Leadership Bo, any final words before we close?
My leader, I think Leadership Bo is still out, kicked out by maybe network problems. Maybe before my device even go off, because I realized that I'm at a few percent on my laptop. Maybe let me just pass my parting remarks to say thank you each and every one of the leaders who made it. My leader.
Please proceed, the leadership is right.
Thank you. I was still just saying that thanks to each and every one of the leaders who made it here today for the official launch of Lewa-La-Banna. So this program is actually have been long in the pipeline. So it's now up here, but then it's for the individuals to make it work, because we cannot just help ourselves. So if you know people who need this kind of help as presented, please introduce them to SALGC. You would have helped them, because this is a space where a man will realize that they are not on their own, as it's always articulated, but then there are other men who are actually ready to help them.
Yeah, my leader.
Well noted, Mwetapele. So yeah, they will realize that they are not on their own, but they are actually men who are ready to give them and afford them the necessary platform for them to seek help and actually help them where they can be able to. And also we're from different professions and different environments. So this is a platform where you can showcase your skills, your leadership skills, and whatever skills that you possess that can make a man a better person. So with those words, let me thank each and every one of you for taking their time on this very beautiful Sunday. And that will be all from me. That means we will meet when the program is on, by virtue of people getting in touch with myself and seeking the necessary help. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Apologies about the technical glitches on Facebook. We could not go live, but we will be loading this recording on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel, South African Leadership Gentlemen's Club. So with all that, we want to thank you for coming through, and please spread the word, support the initiatives, and bring all those ideas so that we all can move forward and be a conqueror's nation. We thank you, everyone. Cheers. Have a super Sunday.
Thank you, gentlemen. Sorry I joined a bit
Thank
late,
you.
but thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Bomme.